time to hook up with our commentators in the booth as we turn it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Autumn has come to upstate New York, and we find ourselves at New Era Field in Orchard Park. The folks in Buffalo love their Bills, and a moment ago they entered to the delight of this sold-out crowd. They're set for football as their Bills will do battle with the New England Patriots. And hello again, everybody, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Godden here in the booth. And, Chuck, you take a look at this matchup. I don't know if it's going to be one in the trenches from the quarterbacks out, whatever. It's going to be a good game.
Oh, without a doubt. I can't wait to see the big fellas have an impact. We're always spotlighting those wide receivers and quarterbacks and running backs and even the defense.
Here's Steven Gostkowski now to kick this one off. And off we go. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to be
down. For the AFC champion New England Patriots, here are the starters on the defensive side.
Well, they will be retooled in 2018, but still some familiar faces. Trey Flowers, a defensive end, their best pass rusher. Dante Hightower, injury-plagued in 2017.
Yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
And that's understanding where the markers are, because it's not just running to them. Because on the catch, you can actually be against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step.
Every year I go to the combine.
Swing back into the end zone. And the Patriot defense has it. Get off the field, get their offense on. Instead, they did one better. Pick it off, take it into the end zone.
Well, they did what you said. They got off the field.
They're going to have to come right back on.
They're going to come right back on, but happily, right? They put the ball in the end zone. That's the way you start a game. That's the way you set the tone.
And that's going to make it 3rd down and 10.
The insistence of speed at every position is really seen at the defensive end spot. These guys in the old days were often outside.
4th down.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack, and that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Now Brady on the bootleg. Eluding the pressure right. At the end of one, the Patriots here have the early lead. And we're back to upstate New York after this. Yards. Instead of the running back in New England, sometimes they like to call them the passing backs. They get them the ball in different ways, don't they?
They certainly do. Think about the ones they've had in recent vintage. You talk about Kevin Falk, Danny Woodhead, Shane Vereen. James White could have been the MVP in the Super Bowl if it wasn't for a certain quarterback that was on the field that day.
Bit of time to survey the scene. That's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to...
First down. That time a slant. Brady in general on those quick hitters, he just releases the ball so fast.
He does, and he's so accurate, but most of the time he wins before the chip shot. I mean, you've got to be able to execute that one. I don't care what they design on the other side about trying to block the kick. That should be 3 points on the board.
Yeah, and we've talked about it before. If you're out at 55, 60 yards, low trajectory from here, you get that thing up. This should be 3.
Yeah, there's nothing routine in football. But this one really nominated a finalist for the most prestigious award as determined by the NFL, the Walter Payton Man of the Year Award.
Brings up 3rd down. That was close to a big play, and just a little bit too far that he was led. He caught it but couldn't stay in bounds, Charles.
Yeah, I'm not very good at these sort of things, but I have to believe the farther you are downfield.
He's able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
All right, Brandon, back to you guys in a minute. But first, it's indeed time for our EA Sports halftime report. Both the Bills and the Patriots have very low rushing totals. It has not been an effective part of either team's game plan, and you wonder if either side will give a more concerted effort to run it in the second half. All right, let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Midway through the first, under duress and the pass is picked off. McCourty's the one taking it back for the score. That puts them up by a touchdown. Late in the first quarter, defense is going to come away with the sack. This ends up as a loss of 9. First and 10, coverage breaks down here. And he'll eventually be brought down, but not before getting to the 47-yard line.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
So here's the Bills offense now. They get ready for their first possession. Junior in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful. It's a nice job hitting him on the angle route there. Come out of the backfield, cutting sharply across the middle. And that's good timing between the quarterback and his receiver.
Effective 3rd down play to move the chains. That's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Buffalo. We get set for the 4th. We got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality,
it's going to wind up yielding nothing. And the Bills getting set to go. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football. Loss of 6.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
In a blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. Timeout, so even if they don't get it, all is not lost.
Yeah, normally in this situation, when you're talking about having to go for it, everything is in this play. But as you noted, with those 3 timeouts, they actually have a little bit of a safety net. And understanding where they are in the game, you got to take that opportunity and maybe thread the needle, unable to get it done there.
Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play.
But now this game is over. The storyline in this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column too.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that